Buffalo Bills schedule predictions, season predictions. And schedule was just released, and it's now popular to do all the predictions literally within a few hours after the schedule released. So, but it makes sense. I mean, we're also planning our trips. We're doing planning our time off. We're doing all the stuff we have to do so we can enjoy the NFL season. So, this year, what I'm going to quickly do, we're going to have to play around with this in real time, is I already did, again, very, very quickly, every other team in the league. I'll let you all kind of look at that. And then from there, we will do the Bills. So you can look on the two sides here. Whoops, I think I am covering the one side. I am. Okay. Yeah, I'll put myself in the middle and then I'll move myself later. Um, so look, take a look. We got the Lions, and I'm just going to name the who did well. The Chiefs did really well. The Lions did really well. Then the Ravens did well, and then the 49ers did well. I think that was the big surprise. Sorry about all the stupid ads. Let's see here. And then this is where it gets pretty interesting. The Texans also do well. Um, and then the Buccaneers do well. That was another surprising one to me, honestly. And then both the Eagles and the uh, Commanders do well. And then the big one is look at the East. I got the Patriots doing really well, and I did not see that coming. I was shocked when I got done with this and I saw that the Patriots had 11 wins. Now they still have two more games to play, so they can be 11-6 or 13-4, depending on how I rank the Bills' schedule. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to find out if the Bills can get past the Patriots to win the division. All right, here we go. So week one, huge for the NFL. The Bills are hosting week one Sunday night football. I haven't talked on the internet a lot about this, but this is something I definitely talk about on Facebook. Notoriously, Sunday night football week one, half of them have gone to the Cowboys, like a quarter of them have gone to the Giants. And yes, you could indicate like how well those teams are doing at the time, but it's been sad. Like I think I think right as of right now, less than half the league has been that first game. And I think with this game now, half the league has been that first game, like in terms of team participation, which is sad. Like by now, it's been 20 years, nearly 20 years. By now, nearly every team. I mean, what is that? Even 20 times 240, right? So every team pretty much should have had at least one game by now, and it's absolutely ridiculous that they haven't. Enough of the teams have done well over time that there's no reason that they shouldn't have been there. The Cowboys are still getting all these primetime games, and they suck. Like they're a horrible organization, and they're still getting all these primetime games. It disgusts me. But the Bills are where they need to be. But believe it or not, like I was a little surprised with them putting them near the beginning of the season, and everything's pretty Sunday afternoonish as the season progresses, which is fine. But I was surprised there weren't any like primetime ones at the end. But you know what? That's also good because they're so confident that like they don't even have to flex those out. So, but what? Why would they? I mean, they were 13-4 last year. Okay, so what do I think is going to happen in this game? Well, obviously it's a playoff rematch. The two MVPs, and the Ravens. I did they have the better record? No, no, they came to the stadium, so obviously the Bills had the better record. But the Ravens beat the Bills last year in the regular season. This is going to be a very tough game, but I am awarding it to the Bills, and the reason I'm doing that is because I think the Bills are going to have that mentality due to the fans, like just that mentality to win due to the fans because of it being the Sunday night opener at home. I mean, this hasn't happened. Like, yeah, we did the season opener in LA a few years ago, but that was on the road, and we still and look what happened there. We destroyed the Rams, the Super Bowl winning team from the year prior. So and Kaiir Elam had to start that night. We still won. So there you go. I think the Ravens could win absolutely, but I think this one is going to go slightly to the Bills because I think a lot of people are expecting the Ravens to win, and therefore the Bills will win. Okay, so I took a lot of time on that one because I think the rest of them are not that hard. We will beat the Jets. We will beat the Dolphins at home. We will beat the Saints. Now, that could be the trap. That could be the big trap. Last time the Saints were there, 47-10. That was the game um, that Peterman came in at the end, scored a touchdown. They named him the starter. The following week, not that game. All right, let's see here. Sunday Night Football, Patriots. But again, I don't care about their 11-4 record right now. I think the Bills are going to beat the Patriots at home. They haven't, to me, they haven't come together as a full team yet. So I don't think Vrabel's going to bring it right away. Let's see here. And then the Monday Night Football against the Falcons. Very interesting matchup. But yeah, no, I think the Bills have that easily. All right, so I realize I'm sort of skipping through like a lot of my thoughts on these. So let me just, I think it's fair to you guys for me to give you a little bit of my thoughts. So going back to week 2, I'm just gonna say a sentence for each one. Week 2, the Jets, it's their second game at home. I mean, I just think the Bills are a better team. Same thing with the Dolphins. Just I know the matchups. I just think they're a better team. Saints, I mean, they're still going to be figuring out their quarterback situation. Good luck with that. Patriots, again, very similar to our divisional matchups. I think obviously Drake May's there, but I just don't think they're the better team. And then obviously the Falcons, they got Michael Penix in there now, or maybe Kirk Cousins comes in. Who knows? And yeah, I just think we're the better team there. And so then after the bye, we go to the Panthers. I think the days of the Bills being, the Carolina Bills days are over with the Buffalo Bill, I know Sean McDermott and Brandon both came from the Panthers, but it was just ages ago at this point. Okay, so let's scroll down. Okay. So after week 8, if I said 7, I'm sorry. Week 9, we're going, okay. Chiefs game at Buffalo, big game. But this one's kind of unfortunately easy because we always win this game, right? So I'm going to give the Bills the victory against the Chiefs because this is just the pattern. Can the Chiefs win? Absolutely. And honestly, I do give them the upper hand. Even the Ravens, I give the upper hand in both of these games. But I'm trying to predict to you like what I actually think is going to happen, and I think in this case the Bills will win the game. Okay, so then Bills go to Miami, and again, this is another thing with Josh Allen, just having this amazing record against Miami. So I'm just going to say that the Bills beat the Dolphins. So the Buccaneers, they got Baker Mayfield. Obviously, if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know how high I was in Baker Mayfield when he came out on the draft. So I don't want to say I want to see Baker Mayfield. No, that's not where I'm going with this. I just respect his abilities. And I know that at one point, like, again, going back to the Senior Bowl, like Mayfield got the start over Allen. I mean, I think Mayfield had to leave that day too, but that's the situation. And Mayfield has beaten Allen with sorry, it was a bug. Mayfield has beaten Allen with the Browns. So I don't think this is going to be a walk in the park, but I do think the Bills will win this. So you probably have noticed that I have not said the Bills are going to lose yet. And we're at week 12, which is incredible. So this year, The Bills are that team that's like, oh, are they going to possibly be undefeated and go 17-0 and win the Super Bowl? That's what's going to be happening around this time, especially after we beat the Chiefs. So, so what's going to happen? At this point, they'll lose because they're going to be exhausted at this point. They're winning all these games. They're beating really good teams. The Texans are still good. So, and they're on the road. It's Thursday night. I think they're just finally going to be tired. And that's going to be, I think, the story of the rest of the season. I think, kind of like we saw with the Chiefs last year, I think the Bills are going to have a really good beginning of the season, and then they're still going to have a good rest of the season, as we're about to get to. But it's going to be kind of tiring. And that's the one thing I'm a little concerned about. And I'll state my final point at the end on that. All right, so week 13, Bills go to Steelers, or Pittsburgh, I should say, and they win. I don't know if it's going to be Aaron Rodgers or not, but who cares if it is? Let's see. And then everybody was talking about the Bengals being the home opener. I don't know why people thought that was happening. Yeah, I think the Bengals are in the right spot there at the at now I was about to say 1 o'clock, but it's not 1 o'clock. It's the 4:25 game. But it's not prime time. There shouldn't be anything special about this game. Bills win again. Okay. Or actually, they don't. Dun dun dun. Again. They're getting tired. Yeah, they just beat the Steelers, but we've always had a little bit of tough sledding against the Bengals, so I think they're going to come in, and I think they're going to surprisingly win that game. So, this one's big. The Bills going to the Patriots, who again are a much better team this year. I think it's going to be a very tough game, but I do think the Bills are going to pull it off. Again, barely, because they just lost to the Bengals, right? So they're not going to want to lose 2 games in a row. The Bills, very competitive game. That's what I'm going to say is going to happen. Week 15. Week 16, Bills go to Cleveland, and yeah, their situation is so messed up down there. The Bills win, in case I know you see it, but yeah. I mean, Shadir Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco. I mean, Kenny Pickett. Wow. All right. Eagles versus Buffalo. I'm really surprised at where they put this game, and they're almost putting it at the end of the season, almost like a throwaway, when it's like the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl winning team versus the Bills. Like, I mean, how is this like kind of an afterthought game, really? But I'm giving this to the Eagles. Again, I don't know how their season's going to go, but I do know that I believe they have Washington the week before and the week after. So they're probably due to lose one of those games again. But so yeah, I have the Eagles beating the Bills. The Bills did beat the Eagles in Buffalo 16 years. No, not 16 years. Yeah, this is the special year. So 14 years ago with Fitzpatrick's famous hard count, and that was the game that Michael Vick was still the quarterback. Vince Young was the backup, the dream team, as they like to call themselves. That's the last time we beat the Eagles. And I can't even think of another time we have in my adult life, honestly. So the Beagles. Whoa. If they ever combine Cincinnati and if Cincinnati and Philly ever combine their teams, that'll be the name of the Beagles. But yeah, the Philly's always had our number, unfortunately. I'd really love to be wrong on this, but I think the Eagles are going to win. And then finally, the last game of the season. Now, this is one like now last year, we have to remember that. Well, there's a lot of things going on with this last game. Last year, though, remember that we benched everybody except Josh Allen for one play. But at that point, like we really had nothing to play for. And it's going to be a similar situation this year in terms of the first seed again, unfortunately, as we'll get to. But I don't foresee the Bills um, wanting to be in third behind the Ravens, which would they're competing with the Ravens going into this. Now they have the tiebreaker against the Ravens in my schedule, but like they're not going to want to bench everybody in chance getting a third place. So the Bills beat the Jets at home. Their first home win since the Bucks game. That's really interesting. Just mainly based on the schedule, just being on the road so much. But now the significance of that game is well, it's not the last game, but it's the last regular season game in the stadium. Well, potentially last. I mean, depending on if I'm even right on what I'm predicting. So I think that's going to be just you got to win the last game in the stadium, right? Come on. And they're going in with they played a 9-7 game against the Jets back in 1973. So they're going out very poetically. And yeah, you could argue that Washington was the first team because they played in the preseason, but whatever. It's the Jets. That's what I'm going with. So pretty good season, as you can see. I have the Bills going 14-3. Yeah. And you might think, whoa, like that's really, really optimistic. But we went 13-4 last year. So what am I missing here? Now, obviously, as I stated before, there's obviously the random game the Bills could lose, like to the Panthers or something. There's divisional games the Bills could easily. I think I have them winning every divisional game. So yeah, I do. So something in the division could happen. And the Ravens, the Chiefs could easily be losses. So I don't want to. And the Bengals could easily be a win. So I don't want to say like, oh, like they're going to easily be 14-3. No. But I think if they do everything they're supposed to do, that's what they'll do. But the one thing I am concerned about is I'm concerned about their durability going into the playoffs because if they don't, I foresee the regular season like they're playing all those easy teams and having a fun ride, and then they get to the end of the season, they're just tired, and then they go in the playoffs a little tired. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. I think that's kind of what happened to Minnesota last year. So I'm really, really hoping that doesn't happen to the Bills this year. But let's take a look at the rankings now. So with that, the Bills will end up in second place. The Ravens will be third, and then the Texans will be fourth. So very similar to last year. And then let's see here. The Patriots get in the playoffs. So what's the team that doesn't get in the playoffs? It was a team last year. Was it? No, Miami wasn't in the playoffs, were they? Oh, it was the Steelers that was in the playoffs, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Steelers. I can't believe I can't remember what the last team was. But they don't get in, even though they're 10-7, they don't get in this year. They were even the team last year. Yeah, they don't get in, but they do have a winning record easily again somehow. So that's that. 14-3 record for the Bills. So yeah, just at this point, thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think the schedule of the Buffalo Bills is going to be this season. Do you agree that they're going to be this good? Do you think they're going to be bad? And what do you think of the other teams? I think I kind of want to know that even more. Like, do you think the Patriots are going to be as good as I predicted, or anything else you may have seen that I didn't point out? All right, thanks again for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel once you leave the page. And as always, take care.